How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining Shop Talk Live. My name is Rick Ramirez, also known as Rick's 2 Cents, along with my fellow co-host Steve from Steve Makes Everything.
Hey, guys.
Hey, give me 1 second here. Sorry, I was
Rick's 2
joined last
cents
minute down the wire.
nearly late Rick.
Say that again?
I said Rick's 2 cents or otherwise nearly late Rick.
Yeah, I remember today. My wife works now this day, so I have to kind of get Ricky situated before I jump on the live. But I'm sorry, I'm feeling a little under the weather today. Ricky and I got sick on this flight coming home. We're coming home, and the person in front of us sounded like death, and the person behind us sounded like death. And I'm looking at Ricky like, "Oh my god!"
It's a remnant.
And then, yeah, and then last night I'm trying to fall asleep. We get home at 4:30 in the morning. And I just start coughing, my throat hurts, Ricky's sick, and I'm like, oh man. So we're both feeling a little under the weather.
This is why I stay on my little acre and don't socialize.
I mean, Disney was fine. It was just the plane ride, man. We had a blast. We spent a week in Disney and then 3 days in Clearwater, Florida. But
Watch
it was
some baseball.
fun. What's that?
Did you watch some baseball?
No.
I guess they're all back. They're all back in their regular locations now.
No. Although I heard there was some booing at an event not too long ago.
No one should be shocked.
Steve, are you solo tonight? No, I was arriving. I'm just a little sore in the throat.
He had to put on his makeup.
Yeah. Santa's Lazy Engraved said, "What's up, Shop Talk people?" What's the shirt say, Steve?
Just my maker in training shirt.
Nice one. I like that.
Always learning.
Nice one.
If I ever create an expert maker shirt, I'm lying.
There you go. Trying to figure out here.
On that front, I was playing with this G-Wick M-Core 400 watt fiber laser, and it did this. You probably can't see it because it's very small, but this is a piece of 5 millimeter steel, carbon steel, and it cut it like butter. It was amazing. Now, I don't know what I would ever use 5 millimeter carbon steel for. That's like 1/4 of an inch, basically, or just about.
Oh.
Like maybe I'll make armored cars or something. Or they seem to be more and more necessary all the time.
Oh man, that's a sad statement that I'd probably agree with. Our world is getting a little crazy right now.
Yeah,
for sure. Prison Prince said, hello. Let's see here. As always, let us know where you're checking in from, and if you have any questions, let us know. David said hello from South Milwaukee, yo. Hello. Bill said hello from South Carolina. Hello. In Florida, man, there was a ton of Canadians. It was crazy.
Yeah, there would be 2 tons of Canadians in a normal world.
Yeah, there was a ton of Canadians. It's funny because as the drinks start going, the accent starts coming out stronger, and it's becoming easier to identify a Canadian.
Yeah, tourism is way down right now. Like it's about 50% year over year. Like it's pretty substantial.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But politics is politics, and I don't know. We'll go somewhere else. I just stay home.
The only thing that I say is that we don't discuss politics. Is that I hope that anyone that has a difference of opinion of the United States because of politics, that if and when our president changes, keep that judgment on our president, not in our country. That's all I'm saying. Please.
I think the important distinction is nobody is upset with average Americans.
Right.
But
Crazy.
I mean, I don't like Florida anyway, but not because it's in the U.S. I don't like it because it's too damn hot.
It's humid for sure. It's humid
Yeah.
for sure. All right. And then when I came back to my house, my dehumidifier went out. And I walked inside. I'm like, why are all the windows like water driplets on them? I'm
Oh,
like, what the heck?
wow. You had humidity on the inside of your house on a hot day. Hot like summer.
Yeah, well, it's 90 something degrees here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it shouldn't have humidity on the inside when it's that hot.
No, well, the thing is that the Ecobee, when it notices that the humidities, it tries to use the air conditioning to. So basically, my house was like 60 degrees inside the house when it was like 90 something degrees inside, because it kept trying to lower the temperature in the house to try to lower the humidity, but it wasn't working.
Yeah.
No matter what it was trying to do, it wasn't working. So
just adding heat.
Yeah, exactly. So I got a new humidifier and I'm back down under 50.
Yeah, about what time is it? About an hour ago, a little more than an hour ago, I went out to my door in my garage because there was a guy delivering a package. And as I'm walking by my furnace room, I hear drip, drip, drip. What the hell's that? I go in there and the hot water line, I had a whole bunch of really like, the crimp connectors.
Yes.
I've replaced about 6 of those things in there.
Really?
I didn't put them in. They were there when I moved in.
Right.
But they just are starting to go bad. I don't know what the deal is with them. And
so is it like the shark bites or the ones you actually have to compress?
The compressed ones.
Okay.
Yeah, shark bite, most plumbers don't like those.
Yeah, no.
Because they eventually
the compression fitting ones, what I've been noticing is that a lot of aftermarket compression fittings, now the O-ring that's inside of it, when it's fully compressed, it expands out and it'll show you their color, like it's like a green or a red or whatever. And that just shows you that it's compressed good. I've always just compressed them twice. And I had somebody look at me and go, why'd you do that? I'm like, I don't know. Just to me, it was just like double checking, make sure it's compressed good.
Yeah, and my water is slightly acidic.
Okay.
And they used it's all PEX pipe, but they used brass fittings. And over the 20 years that my house has been in existence, those brass fittings have basically corroded. And last year I replaced all the ones on the hot water lines in the furnace room. And this year I replaced all the ones on the cold water lines because I had water pouring into my laundry room on the other side of the wall. It was just like, come on, man. It's killing me. And some of them they used PEX copper crimps on. And those things all turn blue and eventually get weak. And so it's just
I was actually going to get
house sucks.
I was actually going to get that PEX gun. You stick it inside it, it like expands it just enough you can put the fitting on it, and then it goes back down to normal side and you can't get that fitting off. I was only going to buy it just because I wanted to do my own sprinkler system. And
like for fire sprinklers, you mean?
No, sprinkler system in my lawn.
Oh, in the lawn?
Yeah, and do the garden as well.
I did that on my last house. I don't really have to do it here because it rains quite a bit. So, although the last couple of years it's been really dry. Anyway, where are we in the comments here? Because
Kevin said, "Good evening, everyone in West Branch, Michigan tonight. I grew up just outside of Clearwater. Oh, nice one. Yeah, we had a good time in Clearwater. Went on the beach, went to Disney, went to Universal Studios. So we had a great time in Clearwater. A lot of shows in Clearwater. People were super, super nice as well.
The only time I've been to Disney, I was at a conference and they basically rented the entire park. So we didn't have to line up for anything. It was awesome. And we didn't have to pay for anything either, which was even better.
So I did the fast passes, but I think I did them on 5 rides. It's like $75 a ride.
Wow.
So, and then my wife was good with the app. and average wait time was like 2 hours. When it would drop like to 20 minutes, no matter where we were in the park, we went to that ride. It could have been on the clear end the other side of the park, but it's 20 minutes. You're like booking it, instead of 2 hours. So it wasn't the most efficient way to go out throughout the park, but it was the most efficient way to be able to ride them, right? So it is what it is. Radui said, here's Radui's dad joke of the day. Here you go. I went on Amazon to buy a lighter, but all they had was 103,472 matches.
That's bad. Now, speaking of that, I do have to go on Amazon and buy some lighters because I need to do a project where I need to UV print on some lighters.
Speaking of lighters, check this out. Have you seen one of these before?
Yeah.
With the little torch?
Yeah.
Oh man, I love this thing for 3D printing. If
to burn off the little fuzzies?
Anything, any kind of blenders, anything, just wipe with your hand, 5 seconds, it's gone.
I just use a regular torch.
Yeah.
I don't have the fancy hookah style extension cable there.
I liked it because you could really adjust the blade, really adjust the flame, so you're not over torching it, so to speak.
I actually have a little handheld butane torch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Tim said, "Very nice green screen, Ricky." Yeah.
The abuse will never stop until you put out a video.
Yeah. Been busy, man. Been busy. Chris said, "I refer to U.S. as the people. I refer to us as the people, and America as the political joke." Yeah. That's why I said just, yeah. A lot of people are not happy with us right now. It is just some crazy times.
What's Tony saying here? Tony says he just saw a 35-watt RF at Alibaba for $1G, a grand. Yeah. If you can get a 35-watt CO2 RF laser for $1,000, it's not a bad deal. I would worry about it being on Alibaba though, because there's probably some cut rate parts in it.
The only thing that I'd say about Alibaba is I've gotten robbed from Alibaba, and the reason that I say I was able to get robbed from Alibaba is that they know how to work the system. Alibaba will actually really protect you as the buyer over the seller, and the way they get you is like they'll kind of drag their feet, so to speak. Like, oh, they'll send you something, say, oh, it's going, and they'll provide you with a tracking number, and you have so many days you're protected. And if they drag you past that time period, you're screwed. So, for instance, I ordered like $3,000 in GTF supplies one time, and my film showed up, and then my powder showed up, and then my ink was half exploded, leaking. So by the time I got my whole order, because they didn't ship it all together, I was screwed. So if you have any problems with an order in Alibaba within that grace period of time, raise your hand, raise the flag, and then at least then they have a period of time to be able to resolve the issue. Because I'm not arguing the fact that all they're quality products or anything. All of them saying is that if you do get robbed, Alibaba will give you your money back.
Speaking of selling lots of little things all at the same time, I have it's actually a UV printer. It's on its way to me. And when they sent me the original, hey, we're shipping it to you, there was 5 FedEx tracking numbers. And I thought, well, that's a lot. But then I went in and looked at them all, and all of them had like 2 or 3 attachments to them. So every day this week and 2 days last week, the FedEx guy is backing up to my shop, dropping off like boxes. And I don't there's so many of them. It's like,
do you think it's one of those like trying to avoid tariffs thing?
I don't know what it is. Like 3 boxes were ink. So sure, okay. I don't know why I need 3 boxes, but there they were. There was a laminator. There was a bunch of sticker material. There was just like all these little pieces. And it seems that they're now asking me what I've received because there's so many of them.
They lost track of what they've sent you so far, what you received.
Well, no, they sent them all, but they've lost track of what actually got delivered. Wow. Now, ironically, I've got a whole bunch of things, but the printer itself, well, it's supposed to come tomorrow, I think. It'll be a more industrial kind of UV printer than say a Eufy make, but
nice. TC1940 said no power from storm, 11% power on the phone, won't last long. Thank you for joining. Jump back into live when you get a chance.
You guys get some storms? Apparently, yeah. Jim did.
At least by me, I know for sure. We definitely got some. The tornado sirens just turned off, actually.
Oh yeah, the hazards of living in the Midwest.
Yeah, Tornado Alley. Just the tube.
Oh, it's just the tube. It's not the whole laser. So you still need you need the power supply.
It's like that guy who bought the DeWalt combo kit and got a printed out piece of paper. He made the news. That was funny. Paul said it's 60 degrees. It's 60 degrees in the rest of the world temperature. I'm sorry. What is 60 degrees in the rest of the world temperature?
Oh, he's looking for Celsius. That's probably like 15.
Well,
15 or 16.
Tim says no power or backup generator. He's using his cell phone, so if the power's out in the house.
Yeah. See, I live in a place where once you peel the grass off the surface, you hit rock. So yeah. They don't have a lot of buried power lines here.
Everything's aerial.
That it combined with them selling our power utility to a for-profit company means they're cutting corners left and right. So every time the wind blows, the power goes out. Mm-hmm. And there was a generator in my house when I moved, but it was only when I bought it. There was only a 8 kilowatt or 6 kilowatt, and it wouldn't run a lot of things. It ran my freezers and fridges and things, but that's about it. A few lights. So I had it replaced last year with a bigger Generac one, and it powers almost my entire house.
Is it natural gas?
Yeah, propane, because they don't have natural gas here either because of all the rock.
Well, so you have one of those huge tanks?
Yeah. It's built into a little hut, so
you can't see it. They hide it.
Yeah, I don't see it.
So do you have an electric stove or gas stove?
My kitchen stove?
Yes.
It's electric.
Okay.
The only thing I use propane for is the generator.
Oh, okay. So do you have a tankless water heater?
Nope. I have a boiler.
Electric?
No, oil, which I'd love to get rid of and put in like an air to water heat pump type boiler.
Yeah. I've heard good things about those new tanklesses. I know when they first came out, they basically said they just weren't hot. They felt like Mexico water, or it was like warm, but it wasn't like hot. But I heard now the heated elements are pretty good.
I had a tankless one in my previous house, and I hated every second of it. It was natural gas, but it just, no matter what, it took so long to get hot water to you, and it wasn't really all that hot when it got there. So
yeah, see, that's exactly what I was describing. How they say it was when it first came out. Supposedly, it's not like that now. I don't know. Anyone has a tankless water heater, let us know. Is it match up to the hype, or is it just the hype? They're definitely pushing that. Santa's Lady Grove said TC 1940. That's why I insisted we moved. I was going to have a whole house generator. Yeah, that's crazy. A lot of people did get those by me too, but that was during like the Y2K scare. Everyone went out and got it. Like, we're gonna have no electricity.
The only thing it won't run in my house of significance is it won't charge my car, which isn't surprising. But
right.
my car could power my house for 3 days anyway if I could reverse it. But
yeah.
But
Razor Ray said we sat through a tornado warning a couple hours ago. Yeah, my tornado warning just turned off before the live. So Ricky was in the basement with me. I got us up eating house. His sister's watching him, but we were hiding out in the basement here. Real plumbers sweat copper pipes. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the video. I was at Home Depot and I said, shark bite, compression fittings, regulars. And it was like the same exact fitting, right? It was like $2 for the regular sweat. And then it was like $21 for like the shark bite, right? And then like, I don't know, somewhere in between the two for the compression. And, I was just saying it was like old school versus new school. And I tell you what, that went crazy because people just arguing with each other in the comments. Like,
yeah.
they weren't even arguing with me. They were arguing with each other, right?
Yeah.
But it was kind of funny.
I remember when PEX compression fittings first came out, and the compression tool, like the crimper, was like $300, and now you can buy them for $50. They're cheap.
This is $3,000. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the DeWalt compression tool.
Yeah,
it's $3,000. The whole box.
You'd have to do an awful lot of compression to use that, to justify that.
Yeah, I got it. I finally got my first stuff from Best Buy. I got a new TV. I think I posted it on our Shop Talk Live Facebook group. And that dehumidifier that was definitely not in the books. I was trying to get one of those. Has anyone had one of these? Those coolers you can plug in or runs on battery? Supposedly supposed to keep it like negative, whatever. So it's like, pristine temperature. They're pretty expensive though. Based on the price alone, I thought they had to be pretty good.
It's like a thermoelectric cooler?
Yeah.
On batteries? Man, there must be a lot of batteries because those things draw a lot of current.
So it can either be directly plugged into 110 or have a battery backup for temporary. It's not permanent, but let's say you were jumping in your car, right? So it could be run on battery temporarily. And obviously it's not meant to be open and close. And then, when you get back to where you're going, plug it in,
But do you have to, like, is it for a house or just for outside?
No.
While you're at a park or something?
Out type thing, for outside camping, whatever.
Because you still have to disperse the heat that it takes out of the air. So
yeah, absolutely.
It can't really be standalone in a house.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna kick off some heat if that was the case. Yeah. But I planned on using my Best Buy bucks to buy that because they're like close to $1,000. And when it came home, the dehumidifier went out. I was like, oh man. And then my wife's TV.
Is it attached to your furnace or something? Like, is it whole house?
External.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's external. So it was just I don't know, just like any appliance, they have a lifespan. So it just went bad. I knew it was starting to go bad because even during our lives, I'd say, hold on a second, I'd walk over there and plug it because it was like, so I knew eventually it was gonna go. It just went. So there it is. Prison Prince said, wow, I haven't seen those yet. I inherited a nozzle you just screw on the tank, which switch on and push. Inherently my dad's tools in the garage. Not sure what that was about.
That's probably around the torch versus your fancy.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Because that's all I do. I just screw the nozzle onto the tank. Now you can get matte gas, but which is better. But I don't do a lot of plumbing where I have to get a piece of copper hot.
That was not used for plumbing. I only used that for the 3D prints, but yeah, you could use it to sweat pipes as well.
Yeah, you wouldn't. That's is it propane, that one, or kerosene or something?
Propane.
Yeah, that wouldn't be hot enough. Probably. Well, it would be barely hot enough to do any plumbing with anyway.
Yeah, normally you use yellow.
Yeah. Well, the advantage is if there's a bit of water in the pipe, it gets hot enough that it doesn't really care. It'll boil it away.
Yeah. Chris said that would be the RF unit, not a complete system. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And what do they say? Read the fine print, so to speak, right? You end up seeing it too.
I do have a CO2 RF laser from CommMarker sitting on my workbench. God knows when I'll get to it, but it's a RF laser, and I'm kind of anxious to have a look at it. But things have been piling up lately.
Santa's Laser Engraving said tried PLA the other night. Oh, I saw that actually. Started out stringing so hard to play with the nozzle temp and smooth it out. That was after forgetting to put a 0.6 nozzle. Fun times. Oh, I saw that. When you were posting on the Facebook group, it was cool. Look cool. Yeah, I was definitely disappointed when I got a bunch of this new filament. I was going to try it, and then
I'm not really into all these gimmicky mixtures of PLA.
It's just it depends what you're making, right? It could be cool.
Some of the
stuff I make, I don't think I would be able to. Literally, wouldn't be something that I would use, but I could see people using it.
Yeah, there's some with wood in them. There's some I have some copper that actually has copper dust in it, and it turns green over time, just like regular copper. But the problem is it makes it weaker, right? Because there's less plastic in it.
Just realized. Hold on 1 second. Just realized my laptop's not plugged in.
And I've tried wood PLA before. Now, bamboo has different kinds of wood PLA. So it's you can get, I think, walnut and cherry, and it's just, I don't need plastic that smells like wood. Now, having said that, Creality sent me a little bag of master batch to make filament that looks like coffee and smells like coffee. Okay.
You can make that poop emoji that smells like coffee. There you go.
Yeah.
Prison Prince said, I also inherited a few older torch nozzles that actually have to use spark tool. Yes. I use those all the time. That's what I use for sweating.
I think mine is that way because mine's about 40 years old.
Yeah, this one, you just press the button. It has the igniter built into it. But yeah.
Yeah, I have no igniter on mine.
Kevin's asking Santa's Live Engraving, didn't you get the U1? How do you like it? Jocelyn Jones said, just received the rotary for my Eufy maker today. So have you used it? Let us know what you made.
I love the rotary on the E1, except it doesn't grip as well as I think it could. But it's nice that it does auto leveling and stuff on it.
You said it doesn't print as well?
It prints fine, but you have to work a little harder to get it to grip to things because it uses this little 2-wheel compression thing. Like you screw it down and tighten 2 wheels on the lip.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's something big, maybe it doesn't have a lip, right? So I think they could improve the mounting mechanism, but the fact that it auto levels is the bee's knees.
Santa's Live Engraving said, no, I have the Flash Forge AD5X. I would love to have the new Creator 5. Santa's Live Engraving shop is just growing and growing and growing. Impressive. Keep it going, brother, man.
Well, he's got to be soon ready to hire his first elf.
Yeah, or his wife's going to start putting him on the couch. One of the two. She seems very supportive, though. Like, they're doing it together, which is cool. Yeah, my wife is not cool with anything that I do. Kevin said, oh, that's great.
There's still some innovation coming along in 3D printing. Somebody just recently had something that'll do tool changes in filament changes and waste almost no filament, and I think it's the IDX system or something. I think it's the new Prusa upcoming. Prusa also incidentally released their color mix software built that's part of their slicer. So what it allows you to do is if you have CYMK filament in your printer, it'll do really nice blending. Like the bamboo slicer will do it too now, but it's not nearly as nice. Like this is like they melted 3 colors and stirred them around and injected it out into a print. It's quite nice.
I literally did the update and the printer just, so I've never even had the ability to try anything. And then I left to Florida, so I haven't. Yeah. But you got to get that printer back up and running. Kevin said, "Oh, thanks. I might be somewhere in North Carolina next week." Nice. Chris said, "I have a gas cooktop with electric oven top, so if I ever run out of battery, I can switch to something to cook on." That's cool. You know, I've been seeing too is these new hybrid water heaters, and I'm like, I don't know, electric and gas. That seems like the only way to me it would make sense if it was electric circulator, but it's still a gas water heater.
It's probably electric to just keep it warm once it's hot, and they use gas to get it hot, probably.
Right.
Gas will heat things faster, right?
Yeah, as we're on this DIY moment, almost seems like home repairs. That's one thing too. We're always talking about, building something, making something. Part of a lot of being handy too is to be the ability to actually repair something yourself. It's not always about making money. Sometimes it's about saving money, right? Steve, you mentioned replacing those fittings. I replaced my mom's water heater, and my sister-in-law said, "Oh, I just had mine replaced." And I said, "Well, how much did you pay?" $3,600.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?"
For what amounts to well, I mean, you can do the electrical anyway, but what amounts to putting 2 pipes into the thing, right?
Right. So exactly what we just said. Yes, being a maker, so to speak, or being the maker's place, actually, yes, could benefit you in generating income. But as you learn these skill sets, as you acquire these tools, like Steve says, why the hell do you have a $3,000 compression tool? You're able to do things yourself that could save you thousands upon thousands of dollars. I'm going to be putting in. Go ahead.
I had no choice but to fix my plumbing tonight because it was the hot water.
Oh, so you had a choice. You could have picked up a phone and called a plumber, but you got your hands dirty.
The plumber wouldn't have got here in the morning in time for my shower.
There you go. But that's the point is what I'm saying. Is you got your hands dirty and did the job yourself. So that's very cool. Something I've always wanted, I'm finally going to do is these spigots that you can have outside. If you're washing your car, they have the ones you can hook hot and cold to it, so you can actually adjust it. You can have hot water.
Well, that makes sense.
I've always wanted one of those. Is it a necessity? No. Would it be something cool? Yes. Now they have the compression tool and all that. Am I going to do it? Yes. So this summer I will be.
Your driveway's not paved, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
So I have about 100.
Just get a like 200 feet of hose and run it up and down your driveway. And on a hot sunny day, you always have hot water.
I have more hoses than I want. I have one of it almost looks like one of those big giant reels that you have to put hoses on.
Yeah.
Just because whenever I have to fill up my pool in the back or top it off, I got to run hoses all the way to the back of the property. But I would like to be able to wash my cars and engines, carpets, rims, tires with hot water. That'd be nice. So I'll be putting one of those in. Kevin said, "I have a gas tankless for the last 10 years. During the current remodel, I'm going to run direct line to the master bath. I like the tankless." See, that's exactly what I was saying, Steve. Like, I think early on, they just weren't there yet in the technology, and supposedly it was more of a hype before, but I think now supposedly they got it nailed down pretty good.
Yeah, I think it depends how big your house is too, right? Like my house is a bungalow, so it's long. It's like 130 feet long, and of course the heaters at the boilers at one end of the house, and my
Right.
showers at the other end. So, but they also have under sink heaters now.
Oh wow.
that are fairly popular, and they heat instantly, right? So, those are coming on too.
I've seen those for the kitchen, right? I've
Yeah.
seen those for the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get them in bathrooms too.
Yeah. Santa's Living Grave said, I have a tankless water heater and we love ours. It's 5 years old. We put it in our build. Now it's endless hot water, not instant. Takes a minute to get upstairs and then as long as you want. Yeah. It's crazy. Technology.
They probably have improved a lot, because like when I had one, I mean, the house that was 7 years ago when I lived there, and that house was, I don't know, 12 years old when I bought it. So
you had it in early stages when they first came out.
Yeah, I mean, they put it in when they built the house, so it was probably one of the first generation, and I didn't really care for it. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you're pumping water through a 3/4 inch line 100 feet, it's going to take time.
Right. I saw this guy. He said, "Hillbilly hack," and he had one hooked up to his pool, and was using it to heat his pool. And I was like, I don't know. I think the amount of money it's going to cost you to just constantly run thousands of gallons through them.
Well,
it might be better just buy a pool heater.
Yeah. But, well, when I had a pool with a pool heater, I had the pool installed, so they put it in, and then they put the pool heater up beside it. And what do I know about pools? Hey, it's nice and warm. So I turned it on in April when they put the pool in, and just kind of left it at that temperature until, I don't know, October, almost November, which is, in the center part of Canada is pretty cool in November. And, I drink my coffee in the morning and look out the window in the door in the kitchen and see the steam coming off the pool and think how nice it was. And then I got a Christmas card from the gas company thanking me for my good use of natural gas. So that was it. Next year, if it's not above, if the water's not 70 degrees, the gas isn't coming on. if it's warmer, forget it.
Yeah, my bill with my pool on is about $800-900, close to $1,000. So it jumps up like $600 for my pool a month. But
yeah, yours is above ground, right?
Yeah, but I never turn my filter off. I never turn it off. And my sister owns a pool company. She's always yelling at me. I said, "Look, man, my pool is crystal clear, always." And she's like, program it to kick on and off like during times when the powers cost less.
Yeah,
and she has like all this mathematical equation because chlorine breaks down more in the sun and blah blah blah, certain temperatures, and that's what she does, right? So they have all these equations when you should filter your pool, when you shouldn't. It's going to save you money, save your electric, save your money on chemicals. And I'm just leave it on always.
Yeah. Well, my pool was a saltwater pool, so I didn't have to worry too much about chlorine, but there's all the other chemicals.
Right.
I don't miss it. It was a lot of work.
Yeah, it is.
Even with salt water, you don't have to put chlorine in, but it still takes a long time to clean it, and there's always trees everywhere. So
yeah, I think my pool's like 15 by 32, something like that. So it's a decent size.
Yeah, it's pretty big for an above ground.
Yeah, I think it's the biggest above ground that you can buy, that I'm aware of, at least. But yeah. Chris said, "Yep, I had one of those, both power and battery. Modified it to use for my CO2 water cooler." Yeah.
There you go. I have a chiller now that I'm not going to use anymore. I got to figure out what to do with it.
Jack in the shop said, "MAP gas, yes, the yellow gas."
Yeah, that's the yellow stuff. Yeah.
Let's see, new name, I think. I don't recognize the name. It's your first time. Let us know. So, what is that CNC Rick's 2 cents has in the background? This is the Onefinity with the PWN CNC.
It's a photo of a Onefinity.
And then it's modded. It has the side mount here, and then the 4 function buttons on the side.
Yeah, that one. That's a Masso controller, or is it the red line?
No, this is Masso.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I added this on the side, the 4 function buttons. So I push it and it goes.
I was gonna say I don't have 4 function buttons on the side of mine.
No, I bought this off Etsy. Actually, from one of our he watches our live.
What do you use the 4 buttons for?
So one makes it go I push it, goes all the way back and out of my way. One actually goes right here so that it automatically just does my bit. You can program like 4 different features. So I just press it and it does it. So if I'm placing something and I want it out of my way, I just press the button, it moves or whatever. But you can program it anywhere you want. It just goes wherever you want it to. So it's kind of cool. And then they tell you how to wire it up and all that. But yeah.
I've never seen one.
Yeah. It lights up, blue LEDs. It's pretty cool.
Wow, now you've got me. It lights up.
It's got some fancy LEDs, man. John says it's manufactured by a company called Green Screen. Nice one.
It was Tim that said that.
So it's just part of a green screen we were going. The thunder is back again. Yeah.
Razor Ray.
Skylar said, I have a hot and cold one to rinse my dog's feet. Oh. Fancy for the dogs, huh? Would you put it in the garage just for the dogs?
I know. Our dogs never get dirty feet. If it's wet outside, they'll hold it.
Chris said my neighbor has a quote $1,900 to fix his water system. I fixed it with $32 in parts and a slab of beer. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, being handy. I said when I bought my house, I said I became an HVAC. I became a HVAC guy, a plumber guy, a roofer guy. I mean, I did sheetrock, I did electrical. I mean, I've done everything in this damn house, man. But yeah, I've done a lot in this house.
I don't do the electrical stuff.
I ran electric from my house to my first garage. From my first garage, I installed a panel. From there, I installed electric to my second garage, installed a sub panel. And from there, ran electric to my pool because at first it was run on extension cord. And then from the pool, went past my pool like another 45 feet just to have electric in the middle of my property. And man, that was a chore, man.
Yeah, don't you have a backhoe on your tractor?
I trenched it.
Oh,
so that way it wasn't. I went and rented a trencher so that I went 38 inches and just went straight down and just kept pulling it, you know. And then it's only this wide, you know. It's not a huge. The backhoe is going to make a big.
I have a narrow. I have a 4-inch bucket for my backhoe.
Yeah,
but you still have to pile of dirt somewhere. So
yeah. Kim the Sentry. Use UV to clean the pool. You know, I used to have one of those on my saltwater tanks. I had a saltwater fish tank, and I had a UV light that would kill all germs, bacteria, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that worked really well. And I actually have a UV light on my furnace, but I've never done one on my pool.
Yeah, I have one on my water system in the house, and also in my I have a pond in the back, and it has in the recirculation filter, it has a UV light as well, which does an amazing job of clearing the pool.
Nice. Tony said I did plumbing for a living. I didn't know that, Tony. And had to pay a tank replacement for over $1,200. Use it for their $300. Yeah. So my mom's water heater went out. And it has some crazy warranty, like 10 years. For whatever reason, this is like it's not a big box store brand. So the only way the manufacturer would warranty it is if a certified plumber removed it and reinstalled the new one. So a childhood friend of mine owns a plumbing company, and I was like, "Yo, guess what you're doing? You're on removing this." That's how I knew it. He was like, "All right." So I just used his name, and when I dropped it off, put a new one, put it in for my mom. But that was ridiculous. Yeah. Chris said most electrical I don't do. I like glowing in the dark. I don't like glowing in the dark.
Yeah, I don't mind doing like all the sockets, wall sockets, lights, and things. But when I had my metal fab wired in, it has two different 220 circuits and a 110, 120, and I just got my electrician friend to do some of that. Did a little service trading with him because I make a lot of his signage too.
Yeah, so, a lot of people they get a little sketchy when they start opening the panel, and that's makes sense.
Yeah, I don't go near that.
Yeah. Center's Living Room said, before we bought this house, I did all type of work as well. I told the wife that we were going to buy new. I wouldn't have to do that. And then came the shop. Yeah. Louisiana Hobby Guys in the house. Hey, brother. Thank you for stopping in. How's it going? Hope you're feeling well and healing up well. It's been a while since your surgery, so hope things are going well. Radui says, Rich, you haven't had the show in a bit, so I think they're saying you got to jump on Shop Talk Live sometime soon. They want to hear from the Louisiana Hobby Guy. Been a while.
Yeah, we need to do more guests.
Yeah.
So the I forget what his name is already. The guy from New Brunswick we had on a couple weeks ago. A few people mentioned that they really like that kind of guest, right? Somebody who knows some things but doesn't know other things. So it was a good opportunity to do some information exchange. That seemed to be appealing to a few people.
Good. Tony said I got hit with 480 twice. Huh. And now 110 walk in the park. Yeah. 480 would not feel nice.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Louisiana Hobby Guy said, I got an interview with Jason from Lightburn at 8 p.m. Okay, we'll see what Lightburn has to say. I'm assuming it has something to do with the new CNC software or the last update they just did.
Oh, 2.1, yeah. So
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, 2.1.
He said, sure, send me an invite. You got it, brother. I'll send you up our next links and let me know which makes sense when you can join us. It's always a privilege to have you on.
Sure.
So appreciate everyone checking in, but of course, if you have any questions, let us know. And again, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but I just think it's great that as you're building these skill sets, it's not just about making money, it's about saving money and some of the things you're able to. I say you can learn anything on YouTube. Not even say from Steve and I'm saying that you can learn anything on YouTube, you know. If you're willing to get your hands dirty, you can definitely save a lot of money, for sure.
I was having a discussion the other day with somebody about how YouTube is changing, and like as a result of AI, because and Google as well, right? Like a lot of people, if they search on Google, most of the time they won't click on anything. They'll read that first AI summary at the beginning,
yep,
and that'll be it. Right.
Yep.
So the whole ad revenue model is breaking down, and nobody's like Google's not driving traffic to websites as much anymore because AI does all the work for you. And same with YouTube, right? Used to refer to YouTube as YouTube University, and nowadays your first step is to go to something like ChatGPT and say, hey, how do I fix my plumbing? And you'll get an answer without having to watch, and you'll get an answer in seconds potentially rather than watching a 10-minute video.
Yeah. So I think that the difference to me, for instance, I said I want to go in my Ecobee settings. So I was trying to figure out why my humidity was so high. I was locked out of my own thermostat. So I Googled what is the default password for the installer password for Ecobee, right? Exactly, you just said AI summary, boom, 3 sentences tells me. I didn't click on any of those websites. So like that's why I would use the AI thing, right? But if someone said to me, like, how would I wire this in? I didn't know the colors. I want to read that. I want to see it. I want to see a picture. And that's just the way I am. Like, I want to. So if I had a video, I'd pause it, right? Okay. Play, pause.
Yeah.
Play.
Yeah.
Pause,
There's certain things. And like if you just make tutorial videos, like if you maybe do, videos on how to do stock trading or something, whatever. Those YouTubers are taking a big hit right now because anything tutorial wise, you can find an answer with AI really quickly.
Yeah.
So it's like I've been kind of tweaking how I do videos as a result of this. And, I hear a lot of people complaining about views being down. This is one of the reasons. It's not that YouTube doesn't like you. It's that, viewers aren't watching YouTube as much, I think.
Well, it's the same breath that people are saying that, shorts is like cheating, that like, the amount of content someone would have to create to do the same amount of views.
Yeah.
And versus a short, you say, hey, it took me X amount of years to get 5.2 million views on long form content. And now somebody can make, 200 shorts and do the same, which took you 400 to 500 long content videos. So some people are even considering that kind of a cheat. But
well, it's not a cheat. What is dubious is the fact that YouTube rates those views the same as a long form view. Now, the other aspect of how YouTube rates things is retention, right? So the longest you can retain somebody on a short is 3 minutes.
Right.
Right. Long form, if it's a 10-minute video, you can usually get 6 or 7 minutes out of somebody. So, it looks like it's a cheat, but in the end, I think it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference.
Louisiana guy said live questions answers on Lightburn. And he said YouTube is slowly dying due to AI. There's definitely changes being made for sure.
Yeah, it's I think one of the things that was killing YouTube AI wise was all these completely AI generated content, right? And I hate watching those.
I won't watch them.
Yeah.
So Facebook right now, to me, it's
like
oh my god.
Like Facebook has killed off 10 million channels or some crazy number of just AI slop.
Yeah, Facebook now. Somebody will post in the makerspace. Somebody will post a stupid thing like, what did I do wrong? And it's like a blob of 3D film, and like 107 people give their 2 cents and say what's wrong. Like, dude, look at the profile picture. It's an ape holding a banana, and it says they're in North Korea. Like, it's a total fake account. But they're just pumping out this content because it's so stupid that people will reply because they know the answer to what's wrong, right? And it's a monetized Facebook account, so they're making money off all these people just replying to their post, But
yeah. And it was probably, there's probably not even a real person at the end of it. It's probably just some AI bot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know. And it's one of the reasons I don't really pay that much attention to Instagram anymore, because almost every video on Instagram is now AI generated.
Yeah.
Even things that don't need to be AI generated.
Yeah, so I think have you seen these advertisements companies on Facebook? They'll fly you to them, and they make a clone of you. Supposedly it takes like 4 hours, and that you will not be able to tell if it's AI or you. And they're guaranteeing it's like 8 or 10 grand to do it.
I don't know why I'd want to do that, but
crazy though. But yeah. Here's what I would say: large corporations, HR videos, tutorials, boring things, policy changes on update on the fly. It doesn't have to be entertaining. It's not meant to be entertaining. Who cares? To me, that's like, great, do it. You can have a Mexican and a black person and a white person be politically correct, like you made these HR videos, right? Or whatever. But a real person you want to talk to me, if it's 100% AI generated, it doesn't seem genuine. Like the whole reason that like you'd watch a video from Steve or I is because like as a person, like they're giving their real 2 cents on something, and you kind of value their opinion or think they're a trustworthy source. When it's just AI, that's not a person. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think it holds the same merit.
I mean, I use AI on occasion, but not. I use it mostly when I'm doing a video on AI, as opposed to just because.
Chris said I read anti-intelligence stuff. Have spend the next hour confirming if it gave me the right answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I ask stuff like that, and so most of the time it's political, I say, "Is this true?" and provide sources, and they'll tell me like yes, and so that is a good way. You could definitely use AI to fact check, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing you can do is you can, if you generate something from ChatGPT, you can feed the result into Claude and get it to verify it.
Santa's laser engraving said the dumbing down is real.
Yep. Sadly.
Chris said AI would put a Mexican male head on a white female body with a black person's arms. It's getting better. It's getting better for sure, and it's getting better to the point it's kind of scary.
One of the big improvements, of course, is that almost everybody AI generates has 5 fingers now instead of 3 on one hand, like a claw, and then 12 on the other hand.
Yeah. So I posted this. I didn't generate the image, but it was an AI generated image. It was an in-text pool that was called a lazy river. And it was like a 300-foot lazy river that's supposedly but if you read the box, it said like installation requires procrastination. Like it was just a bunch of comical things. But it was so funny how many people just look at a picture and just automatically accept it as legit, right? Like, dude, did you read the box? Like, but
what's a bit terrifying though is just recently I did creating product videos with Dance 2.0, which at literally 3 weeks ago was state of the art. Well, now right after that, Google has now got, I think it's called Omni, Gemini Omni or Gemini something. It's part of the Gemini group, and it's like the next step, and it's terrifying how fast it's moving.
Yeah, it's definitely AI is definitely going to eliminate a lot of jobs. Like I know the people that work for my company who are all programmers, they're shitting bricks.
I do know people, because I come out of that world. I do know people who are on product teams that now have almost no software engineers.
Yeah.
And they have somebody who calls themselves a software architect whose basic job is to create queries and tell AI to fix its own problems.
Yeah. What was crazy is that they said that they thought like in the first 30 days, the first year is supposed to be like 60,000 or something like that. The first 45 days was like 600,000. So on an enterprise level, I don't know how they charge for AI, but obviously it's a big difference than what we pay, right? As a regular consumer, so to speak. But yeah, that's crazy though. But
yeah, I'm suffice it to say, I'm glad I'm a retired software engineer, not an active software engineer, because like even now, I if I ever have to write software, I use an AI tool to do it. I don't do it myself anymore. It takes too long.
Yeah, I remember when I started in VB, C++, COBOL, right? Yeah, crazy times.
COBOL, here's a language.
Yeah,
I've done some COBOL.
I worked for a company that did a lot of stuff in the banking industry.
Yeah.
Banks still use COBOL to this day.
Still use a lot of it, yeah. And the problem is all the people who wrote it have now died of old age, right? Because most of the code that runs in bank infrastructure was written in the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest though, like you told me to give me $1 million to write COBOL. I don't know if I could. I probably could dig into some notebooks and start refresh my memory, but it's been so long. Like,
yeah,
HTML, JavaScript, Java. I think I could still wing it. I've done it.
COBOL's just like writing code in English.
Yeah, it's been so long. I just don't remember. Java, JavaScript, HTML. Without a problem, I can do that. But I don't remember COBOL. I'd have to start looking at notebooks. Bust out the college books, right? Kevin said, "Is there anyone really? Is there some really cool AI that we're using in the cardiac world?"
So interestingly, I back in my I'll say my youth, pre-retirement, I worked for IBM, and one of the things I worked on kind of on the side of was Watson. And Watson was originally designed for healthcare, for like case diagnosis and that kind of thing. And the problem they ran into was they could feed Watson like hundreds of cases, and it would look at a current case and go, "Oh, you have this." And the problem they had was when they went to get it certified, the medical association said, "Well, how accurate is it?" And they said, I think it was like 68% accurate. And they said, "Well, that's not good enough." And in spite of the fact that we pointed out that doctors are only about 30% accurate with diagnosis, they said, "No, sorry." And that's why Watson basically disappeared.
Wow.
I mean, it still gets used in some other things, but it was just that. It was like people at the time didn't trust it. Now along came ChatGPT, OpenAI, and they created this false sense of trust, right? So now nobody even questions it, even though AI is wrong half the time.
Dewey said, "My resume is a list of things I hope I never have to do again." I agree with you 100% on that. I feel like every job I've ever had, like the job I had coming, I wouldn't have been a job without the job I'd done in the past. And at the time you're going through that past job, and you're like, "Oh God," you just didn't know that it was preparing you for the job in the full, right?
Yeah. The good news is AI writes resumes really well. The other piece of good news on the job hunting front is most HR departments don't care about cover letters anymore. In fact, it's an annoyance to most of them.
So when I re-entered the job market, it was been a while, right? I had a resume that was old. I paid like $1,100 for this company on LinkedIn to redo my resume. And they didn't really change my resume, so to speak. They changed it great. And they said, "Look, here's the thing. Your resume looks great to a person, but a person doesn't read this."
Yeah.
2,000 people apply for this job, and it shoots through this AI analyzer, and it spits out the 6 qualified candidates. And then the person does and looks at that. So you need to check all these boxes to get past that so that a physical person can look at your resume.
So that's all so they added an extra page to the end of your resume with just a bunch of keywords on it. SEO.
No, they changed formatting, word structures, the way things work. And I went literally from getting 0 people contacting me or applying, getting nothing, to 20, 30 inquiries, people reaching out to me, not reaching out to them a day after that. So I was like, well, it worked.
I always had a resume, but I hardly ever used it to get new jobs.
Yeah,
it was always like, hey, I happen to be working on something that somebody else was interested in, and it was just like, here's a contract, come and work for us.
Okay. So someone's stealing you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris said COBOL still used. I started back in the 70s.
Yep. Yeah, I was pretty young when I wrote COBOL. I didn't do a lot of it because when I started working, it was already on the way out. But it was it was the language of banks for sure.
Yeah, when I took Cobol, they said, "Oh, next year, this is dropping off the curriculum. You won't have to take it." And I said, "Well, can I drop the class then?" And it says, "No, it's a prerequisite." I said, "Yeah, but next year, I'll just take something else." No, you don't. You can't do that. So I took QBasic, and they did that to me. And then I took COBOL, and they did that to me. And I was like, "What the heck, man? Like, you guys keep changing the program and taking these classes that are obsolete." But yeah, it was crazy. I was a CIS major at first, and then I switched to TCOM. Santa's 11th grade said they have replaced Rescue Randy for CPR yet. An AI Rescue Randy. Clack said job. No thanks.
Yeah. See, Clack is in the right mindset now.
But he still has a job though. It's just working for himself.
Yeah, but it's different when you wake up in the morning and you go, I don't feel like working today. I'm going to go fishing.
But if you have commitments to people who paid you, you still do.
Yeah, you don't take money. That's the problem. See, as soon as somebody pays you, they want to own you, right?
So you don't take money?
Not too often. Depends. If I really don't want to do something, then I'll take money for it, because then you're paying me to get enthused.
Yeah. The only thing is that, like, my memorial stuff, I definitely take a long time to make it. And it's just because I'm really meticulous on how things turn out.
Yeah.
Just because
but that's different, right? That's the craft.
Right.
Right. We all take time doing the craft. It's the it's the YouTube stuff. For one thing, I don't want to be biased, right? And like, I don't want to be paid to be biased.
Yeah. Clack said, "Hey, y'all."
We didn't even say his name 3 times tonight.
Yeah, so Radu said, "I didn't hear Clack's name said 3 times."
There you go.
Funny I said that, but yeah. It's going to be a new insider joke. So if you are new to our podcast, a couple different things. One, we laugh when we have these inside jokes because the only way you know what they mean is if you're a regular. One, I will say the silver fox. And if you don't know what the silver fox means, you're already watching enough to know. The clack 3 times, that's another thing. And just a couple little inside jokes like that our regular subscribers or watchers would know. Also, I do see some new names. So I want to mention that as we share these comments, you may ask, why are we reading them? And it's because there are a lot of people who actually don't necessarily watch the podcast. They listen to the podcast. And when they hear something they want to comment on, they jump in front of the screen, or they get a chance to jump on their phone, but they may not have the ability to sit in front of a computer the whole time, but they're listening in the background. So that's why I'm reading them. We're well aware you can see them. No, here he goes. Chris said, we are starting to see a few companies that auto-reject resumes if AI is detected.
Which is ironic because they use AI to detect it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Now, I applaud any company who has an HR department that doesn't use AI to scan resumes. Because it's I get why you'd want to, because depending on the job market and the job, you could get hundreds of resumes. But at the end of the day, you pick the first one that looks good, right? And if you happen to be in the bottom of the pile, well, it sucks to be you. But it's, I don't know. Like, I don't think AI should be used as a judge for anything.
Yeah. So how would you say this, Steve?
Monsieur D.
I wasn't going to attempt it so you can make fun of me.
Hello, he says.
Clack said, sitting here calibrating the 12-watt OmniX, finally got it mostly calibrated with 250 millimeter lens. Nice one.
Yeah, that's a nice laser. Mine's in storage at a friend's place now, so because I just don't have room.
Chris said, you can pay me for enthusiasm for a job I don't want to do, but it's very expensive.
Yeah, well, see, that's my attitude too.
Yeah. He said, food been simmering long enough. See you all next week. All right, dude. Thank you for dropping in. Talk to you.
Oh.
Yeah, so AI definitely is an advantage to be able to do some things. I think the AI art generation, I saw a pretty well-known tattoo artist in the Chicagoland area actually post on Facebook and says, I will no longer give any tattoos of AI generated artwork. And I think what it is because when it sources things, right, and certain tattoo artists, they're like artists, right? So they can't take credit for someone's artwork, or I don't know how that works. I don't know how digital artwork, the laws work, as far because how do you create something that's AI and then print it and then sell it? Like that'd be kind of the same thing with like putting it on your arm, or I don't know. But at any rate,
Well,
you are seeing some pushback on
I mean, if you go to a tattoo artist and with a photo of something AI generated, then it's not their art anyway, right? Then they're just reproducing what you gave them. And
right.
I mean, there's lots of tattoo artists who are truly artists.
Yeah, they're not accepting that. They may say I can recreate something like this, but they're just not going to use AI generated artwork at all. At least that guy wasn't. I thought that was pretty crazy. You start to see, like literally someone who does tattoos, like that they're commenting on things like that. So
yeah. Now at the same time, it's they're holding onto a dream, right? As I say, they're hugging the last tree in the forest, and the world will just keep moving, right?
Okay, so I'm asking you guys instead of you asking us. Honest. Who uses AI who's watching this live right now, and what do you use it for? Because there's a whole lot of pushback to say like, hey, you shouldn't use AI, or AI is taking people's jobs. Honestly, do you use AI, and what do you use it for? I'm interested to know. Let us know.
Now the interesting thing is a lot of people are using AI without even knowing they're using it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you see, like people, I've met people who go, as a result of doing some of these AI videos, you get the odd person who goes, I'm going to boycott this. Nobody should use AI. It's like, I guarantee you're using AI. No. I said, have you ever watched television? Anytime you see something that looks like it defies physics in a commercial or in a video, it's AI. Sorry, you're using it too. You're using it for entertainment.
Right. Saturn's living great said, just said I thought we may see white collar jobs fall off, while blue collar surgeons become a blue collar surge because of AI. Yeah, I mean,
I don't think there's going to be an AI plumber,
a roofer, a plumber, electrician, a concrete guy, a paver guy. And what's going to happen too is that like some people think because you get dirty for a living makes you a second-class citizen. That second-class citizen all of a sudden is going to have a lot thicker of a wallet than you do, maybe. Because AI is going to change things. Yeah. Kevin Turner of the Century said, universities now use AI to mark papers. If AI's detect or rejects your papers, no appeal allowed. My daughter's high school does that. That's crazy. They have some kind of software detects.
But this is the irony here is remarkable, right? Like we're using AI to mark your paper, but if we detected that paper was used AI, we're going to reject it.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, you can't be that two-faced, right?
Chris, you must have missed it. Radui did do his official dad joke. Although Radui, since you are being asked, if you have a second one you want to share, please feel free to.
Well, he left now. He went to eat.
Oh yeah, he did. He had to eat.
Mr. D.
First designer or artist would most likely modify or could start with AI generated mock-up and make its own. That's fine. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was saying. Like they want to use this as a reference. That's one thing. But the artist was flat out saying he's not going to actually do the exact copy.
Yeah, it's throwing intellectual property law out the window, right? With AI.
Yeah,
it's sad, but yeah.
Right, he's saying, scroll up, buddy. He already made his joke.
He's still around.
All right. So Chris said I use it to narrow down where and what to search. That's good.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the right use, right? You get it to point you into a corner, and when you get there, you have a finite amount of information to look at instead of the whole universe, right? And that's the kind of thing I try to use it for too.
I use AI every day to optimize.
Yeah.
So I write my own video description, I write my own posts, and I have a thread that I use purely to optimize for TikTok, purely to optimize for YouTube, purely to optimize for Facebook. And I throw it in that thread and it spits out whatever. But Facebook does have an AI detection module as well, a plugin. And you'll see sometimes at the top of my posts, it'll say AI info. And it's my wording, but because it optimized it, their AI detection is flagging. And recently, I think on our last live that I was on, Facebook did an update and asked me did I want to turn that off. So basically that wouldn't be displayed. And I was torn myself to like, should I turn that off? Should I not turn it off? And at the end of the day, I thought like, personally, I would never write Rick went to the pool emoji, heart face emoji, a pool emoji, a tree. So like if you see those emojis, I used AI to redo the description, right? I didn't enhance the way I look. Still see the beer belly in the picture. That's truly me, right? So I just left it on. But at first I wasn't sure if I should turn it on.
Yeah, I tend to use it for things like if I have a video idea, I'll get it to do an outline. And usually I hate the outline, so I'll go through a bunch of negotiation to refine it. And then I'll write a script because I don't like the way AI writes.
Yeah.
So I tend to write my own script from an outline that I've negotiated.
So I've been using for 2 years in my direct design director role. I work in a field where I didn't really have a choice, but I think it's amazing for brainstorming, quick iterations, and to get you started. Yeah.
Where it starts to cause problems is, and I mean, you see it, right? Like people are asking it things like medical guidance, for example, right? Like, I have this pain. What should I do? Oh, well, put a Band-Aid on it, as opposed to, go to the ER right now. Right. And then they die or something, and it causes a whole bunch of havoc, and that's kind of wrong. I
use it fairly regularly on thumbnails for videos, creating a one page for Santa, and sometimes search for work. You need to understand the limits, and it's a powerful tool. Yes.
Yeah.
So one thing that I was told early on with using AI is that AI has a God complex, and that it wants to please you, and that sometimes you have to use certain keywords when you create that thread to tell you the truth, not to tell you what you want to hear, to be a little more harsher, or to be a little more direct, not just feed you fluff. I got that from another AI guru who was kind of giving these specific instructions when you're giving these key instructions when you're creating these threads. But it definitely helped my output. A lot less fluff. Chris said, how does AI detect AI for exams when AI and LMM are basically large on human input? Yeah, I don't know. I know one of the things.
So the style. So for writing, the style of writing, AI has a particular style.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons I don't like it for scripting anything, because it's too slick almost, or too, I don't know, but it repeats itself quite often just to sound, nice. And so you can actually build an LLM, which is a large language model. If you don't know what LLM means, It's just basically a big set of rules based on a bunch of data, and AI uses that to run prompts, and it's not the best, right? But you can build an LLM that detects the style of AI, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
That whole system, the fact that you need AI to detect AI means that AI is the problem, right? Not that somebody's using
Right.
AI.
Yeah, it's crazy. Kim, the turn of the century, said, I use AI to clean up descriptions, make them more suitable for marketplace, but also to translate between English and French.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know what? One thing I use it for recently is for reading contracts. Like, just here's a contract. Tell me where all the loopholes are. And it finds a bunch of crazy things that you look at and go, oh, I hadn't really thought of that. And it's good for that kind of stuff. Like, again, it's a research tool, but
Right.
it takes a 30-page contract and turns it into a 1-page synopsis, and you can look at it really quickly.
Chris said, yes, but the AI style is based on human style. So how does it know if it was rejecting based on
the thing is,
original?
it's not, though. That's the challenge, right? It has its own particular style of writing that no normal person would ever write. And if they do, well, they get labeled AI and they get pushed out of the system, right? But
Majority of people.
Most people wouldn't do it. You can tell when like if you get email, you can usually tell when it's AI generated, as opposed to it come from a real person. I mean, if it comes from me, you can tell because it's got all kinds of typos in it, because I type slower than my brain goes.
Sanders Living Graven said, it's imperative that you give it as much information about what you want to cut out as much. Well, I'm sorry. It's imperative you give as much information as you can about what you want and cut out as much stuff of the fluff. Yeah.
Yeah. I think also I would add there, you can tell it what you don't want.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about, the fluff, right? Just remove the fluff. Yeah. And if you're using like a paid plan, like Claude or ChatGPT, it's building a profile of you anyway, so it starts to know what you're looking for.
Yep. Yeah. So I think early stages, I described it as speaking to someone who has like Alzheimer's, right? That's what ChatGPT originally was, but it's definitely becoming more and more perspective and almost scary in a sense, and how much it learns and knows about you.
Yeah, that's another distressing fact too, right? What does it do with all that knowledge of you?
Yeah, I said something like something about doing something to my lawn, and it wrote a reply like, your daughter's birthday's coming up on this day. Had her knew her name and said that my son was helping me. Like, it went in detailed of like upcoming events I had and all this stuff. And I was like, I didn't write anything about that, but it tied the two and two together, which was kind of like, oh, this thing,
Yeah.
A lot about
I was doing an outline for a video, and I forget which one it was, but just fairly recently. And I was telling my wife this because she uses ChatGPT a lot for her job. And it did the outline, and I asked it why it put this particular thing in the outline. It's just a detail. And it said, I did this because in another video, and it labeled the video on YouTube, you said this, and this is kind of in conjunction with that. And I went, I didn't use AI for that video. It's like, how do you know? How do you know I said something? Right. So it knows my YouTube channel, and it's gone out and grabbed all the text from my videos, I guess, because it picked that particular video, and it said, in this video at this point you said this, and it matches what I want you to say now, right, as part of this outline. And I was like a little freaked out. So I shut everything down. I went for a walk and went, okay, and now I'm a little alarmed.
That's crazy. Chris said, I want a tool that counts hyphens, percentages in emails to reject spam. Yeah.
Yes.
You know what's crazy is that I've had a Mac for so long, I haven't been worried about viruses, right? And now that I have this new Windows, and I used to use Kaspersky, but now Kaspersky is banned because it's a Russian company in the United States. So I downloaded the old Norton, and one of the Norton plugins is a Norton tracker. And what's crazy is that how many things, like on an email, my email will be like locking up, like what's taking so long? So I click on Norton, it'll tell me, such and such, HomeDepot.com in your email has 3 small images in their email, and that image has an embedded tracker.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, it's a sense of malware, but not really as harmless. It's like, because they know that if they said, are you going to allow this cookie or whatever, you probably hit no. So they're just literally embedding images that they're using emails.
And it can literally be 1 pixel, right? Like it's
right.
Like,
and it can be clear. It can be a clear pixel.
If you look at it in your email, you won't even see it, right? It's just there. Yeah, it's brutal what all the tricks they get up to. I use like a whole network ad blocker and tracker blocker. So, and the thing is, it reports to me how much spam crap off the internet gets blocked, and about 28% of my traffic is blocked because it's just junk.
Right.
So every time I go to a web page, all the ads are stripped, all these funky graphics are stripped. It's
right, and it's not anyone like with any bad intentions, so to speak. It's big box stores you use every day that are doing that to the computer. Your Home Depot.
I would call it bad intentions.
Walmart. What'd you say, T?
I said I would call it bad intentions.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is they're not trying to steal your credit card information. What I mean by that.
No, but they're trying to build a predictive model of you, right?
Yes. Agreed to that.
I mean, this was the Cambridge Analytic problem back in 2016 in the last U.S. election there. Well, I guess it's 2 elections ago now, where they were putting out these goofy, all these goofy little surveys that you can get on social media, or sometimes it's codified as a game, but it's doing the same thing. And they could ask you maybe 3 or 4 questions that are completely unrelated to politics, but with those they could predict who you were going to vote for.
It's crazy.
With like 85% accuracy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Chris said, I moved to Linux and have a 90% control over what I want private versus Microsoft uses without implied consent. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like literally that Norton, it's called Norton Tracker. It's a plugin. It doesn't come with, you have to pay extra for it. But it was just insane. Like Steve said, that the websites I view, the email, these hidden pixels, like it'll this little, my taskbar will show this little weird symbol, and it shows a pixel tracker, and it's either the website or an email, something it's slow down my computer because it's doing something, and it's like 300 and something that they found that it'll show you. Just crazy.
It's just there to put a cookie in your browser.
Yeah. Razor Ray said, I had an argument with AI about a device I had in my hand, and AI said it doesn't exist.
Yep. This is the thing about AI, right? When it's wrong, it's my wife would say it's like a good husband, right? When they're wrong, they still argue about it.
What did Al Pacino say? I'm right even when I lie. I'm right even when I lie. I'm right. Yeah. Chris said these days spam is more problem and annoying than Trojans. Yeah. So like I said, a Trojan horse, someone who's actually going to be a keylogger, grab your email, username, passwords, your credit cards, you're paying a bill. That's horrible, right? Yeah, and I'd say for the big box stores, they're not doing that, but they are still they're like invasion of privacy, so to speak, to kind of like build these things on you. It's just surprising, like how common practice that is now, and how they switched it up to do things differently, because most browsers now are smart enough. If you download a cookie, it's going to prompt you. Hey, do you want to download this cookie? And most people are going to say no.
Yeah,
right?
well, and it will also, you can also go and see what they are, right? You can go look in settings and see all the cookies. The spam thing isn't quite as big a problem as it used to be, because most email programs have, Bayesian filtering built right in, and they just automatically move all that stuff to junk. And you can go look at it, but they're pretty good about scrapping the things that are garbage. Like the endless supply of UPS packages. Click here. You get lots of those.
So MS Defender antivirus should be good enough now, no?
Yeah, I mean, they're all better than nothing.
Right, and I think that a lot of times the non-paid versions versus the paid versions, a lot of times it's the same. The only difference is like you can't auto schedule things, right? If you had the paid version, you could schedule it every Wednesday or every, it does that. And almost anytime you have the non-paid version, almost always strips those. And then also when they have the paid version, you get the added options. Like I said, that tracker, that's not part of even the normal Norton antivirus. That's part of something. So
now I would never, and this is a word of warning for anyone who sends me email. I'd never, ever click on links in email. I don't care what it is. Yeah, no links.
Yeah, especially hyperlinks. Like, and I think it's so funny how many people spoof you on their email. Like,
it's endless.
We were talking about the going back and forth when I was having audio issues about buying that Shure mic. And as soon as I mentioned buying that Shure mic, I must have gotten 200 emails from Shure. Right? And, hey, Shure, if you do want to sponsor me, send me an email. So far, they've always been fake. And
but don't use your Gmail account when you send it, right?
Right. So what they do is they're so stupid. They change the display name.
Yeah.
Right? It says Mike at Shure, blah, 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 blah. And you click on it. And you see the actual real email address is hj6666444@gmail.com. And I'll just reply, well, if you want to email me from that Shure email address, just go ahead and email me back and we can go from there. But just tell them stop spamming me, basically.
Yeah,
but
I personally would rather have Sennheiser send me a message than Shure, but I do have 2 Shure microphones that I like, actually.
Yeah, but definitely going from a Mac, from going from a PC to a Mac was a big difference. But now going from a Mac back to a PC is like, oh god, and it's just the
all of a sudden you have to lie awake at night and worry about things when you run Windows.
No, I constantly scan my computer. I have a malware, adware, like I have to protect my computer,
Yeah.
Mac, you just don't really have that concern. I'm not saying a Mac can't get a virus, it's just a lot harder to. That's all.
Yeah, and I mean I use mostly Macs, but I still won't click on a link in an email, because that's where 99% of these things come in, right?
Yep.
Most browsers now, especially Safari, but Chrome is the weakest, and that's the one a lot of people use on Windows. I don't know why, but it's terrible. But Safari will automatically tell you when you're about to try and do something that you shouldn't be doing, right? Like when a web page asks to do something.
Yep. Sanders Lathan Graydon said, if only Watson had been on Jeopardy, laugh out loud.
So I actually played, when I was there, I actually played the Jeopardy version of Watson. And it's not connected to any network. Like, it's just sitting there. And questions get asked, and it's like, I know the answer. Watson's got it, right? And it's like it didn't give me an appreciation for how good Watson was. It gave me an appreciation for how good some of those players were, like Ken Jennings, right, or whatever his name is, like because he beat it, and it's like, holy shit, how did he do that?
Yeah.
Because I'd like to believe I'm not stupid, but at the same time, I mean, this thing has the reaction time of like a Formula One driver, right?
Right.
Like 0.4 seconds, it's got an answer. Yeah, it's a bit depressing. Yeah, I stopped playing with it because it made me sad.
Razor Ray said AI did give up though.
Yeah, if you ask it to prove its position with like real data, and it can't, then it'll start to waffle.
Chris said I put deliberate spaces in links so the reader has to remove them if they want to visit them, and is less likely to get flagged by spam.
He sounds like part of the problem to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't hyperlink. So like if I was to say shocktalklive.live, I'm just gonna write it. And so if you don't feel comfortable clicking on it and you just want to put that website in your browser, you can. I think that kind of deters you, make it a little bit more
yeah, and most email programs will let you hover over a hyperlink and see the actual URL attached to it. And you'll see that it'll be some site that is not anything close to what the hyperlink is suggesting.
Right.
And it's got like a million parameters behind it, which is a whole bunch of tracking stuff.
Right. And it's one thing, like, let's say, Steve or I sent you an email because you said, hey, do you have a hookup on this? And it was like, I don't know, Bamboo Lab or Steve//Bamboo Lab// You see the bamboolab.com in the URL at some point, right? And the Steve or Rick's 2 cents in that mix is just an affiliate link. To me, I get that. That's no big deal. But when it has some crazy long, 42,000 characters something, I'm like, I don't want to click on this. I think that's why people like using URL shorteners as well.
Yeah. Well, they use URL shorteners because it hides all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if it's still there in the background, it makes you a little more trustworthy to see just a shortened URL.
Yeah, I don't trust them. I trust shortened links even less. Because you don't know what it's pointed to, right?
Yeah. So crazy. So we got 30 minutes left in the live, people. So if you have any questions, let us know. Definitely want down a DIY tunnel. I think a lot of people have been doing.
We have to have a theme for the night.
Yeah, here it's summer. I say my honey-do list inside the house goes away, and my outside work becomes the number one priority. My daughter graduating high school. We're gonna have a big. Normally, once a year, a big party at my house is 4th of July. But this year, it's gonna be my daughter's graduation/birthday party. So if you guys follow me online on Facebook, I've been going crazy with the grass, going crazy with the yard work. Yeah, because I just want to have a really nice setting. That Steve can to relate to this, but people, when you own property, they come over on an event, like, oh, looks so nice. They don't realize, like, we don't have a 16th of an acre. Like, you could spit land on your neighbor's house. Like, when you own property, like, it's a chore, man. Sometimes it's like a part-time job. Like, it's a lot.
Well, in the summer, it's almost a full-time job.
Yeah.
It's like people ask me why I have a robot mower. Well, because that's 3 hours I get back for not looking at my lawn.
Somebody said the other day, they're like, Rick, how long does it take? And I said, who cares? Like, who cares? Like, the John Deere, I have 2 John Deeres. I have 3 tractors, but 2 John Deeres. And the one thing I don't like about my John Deeres is they don't stripe well. Right? No matter how slow I go, no matter what blades I change, I like those stripes. When you can see, especially because I do patterns.
See, I don't care myself, but
I do patterns. So even that stupid little robot, it stripes nice. Yes, they're really small. They're not a 60-inch wide stripe.
But they're straight.
That little robot stripes pretty nice, man.
Yeah.
It flattens the grass pretty nice. So And when you start pumping all this spoon feeding your lawn, so to speak, your lawn grows fast. So I like it too, is that I can cut my lawn fast with the big tractor, but I can cut it 2 to 3 times a week with the little one because it's just maintaining it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I was cutting, well, this time of year, I cut my lawn twice a week, and it's about an hour and a half each time.
Right.
So it's 3 hours a week till September. And yep, when the lawnmower cuts it, it takes 3 days to cut my lawn, but I don't have to do anything but watch it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how long it takes. I mean, I guess if I let it cut through the night, it could probably cut the whole lawn in a day and a half. But
yeah, I haven't done that. I haven't enabled the night. Have you done that?
It's done it a couple of times because I started things late because it was raining or something in the morning, and then I went, okay, the rain stopped, I'm gonna start, and it's like 10 o'clock before the thing is finished, and it's still out there cutting. Works fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to see, right? It's got GPS and RTK location on it. So
Razor Ray said I was able to cut half-inch thick acrylic with my CO2 90-watt laser in one pass a couple days ago. Nice.
Yeah.
Make sure that's externally vented, man. That shit is smelly, not good. Toxins.
I don't mind acrylic. Acrylic's not too bad. I mean, you can tell it's acrylic, but it's not like cutting leather or something.
Clack said, if your tractor has a stripe attachment, it's a lawnmower. Just saying. So I have one of my tractors, one of my John Deere tractors. It's like what do they call it? A mid-size. So it has a 54-inch bucket in the front, and it has a smaller, bucket in the back, and it has a 60-inch deck that you can cut. But as I always say about any tool, anytime you have a anything, it's not the best of anything, right? Can I pick up a huge giant tree in the front? Yes. Can I dig? Yes. But it's not the best. If I had a bobcat or a skid steer, I'd run circles around that, picking or digging, right? But that one attachment would be $30-something thousand. The whole machine was $30-something $1,000. So, but starting off just from owning a normal house to owning property, I still think it was a good investment. But now my John Deere zero turn, it's like $7,400, I think, around $8,000. That thing, I can cut grass as fast as it'll move. Doesn't clog, doesn't do anything, but still doesn't strike well. But I did just order a striping kit to put down that zero turn. We'll see how it comes out.
The striping kit is like a broom, right? It's just like a push
broom.
The
one I bought, it looks like the plastic wheels you put on a regular push mower.
Yeah.
Right. Like 30 of them. Like they screwed them all together, and there's weights in them. So it's like 30-something pounds. It's actually on the grass. It's rolling along the grass, kind of just drag behind you. And that's what's pushing the grass down to create the stripes. It's called like a big league striper kit or something. Supposedly it's like
I saw one that was just like a big push broom being dragged behind the mower.
Yeah. Literally like a push broom, yeah.
It's like the head off of a push broom.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll see how it does. Chris said, Rick, just follow the robot on your ride 60. I'm saying literally the stupid robot makes better stripes than any lawnmower I have.
Yeah, well, especially if you're holding a beer while you're driving your tractor, right? Because then it's like all over the place.
No, I tell you what though, that is one thing I do not do. I don't drink at all.
You don't drink and drive on your tractor?
No, I don't drink at all, man. Like, because when pretty much it's like sun up to sundown when I start. And start drinking, man, forget it. So I must drink 1 gallon, 2 gallons of Gatorade. You know what I mean? That I like using those what are they called? Like IV drinks. It's like it's better than a Gatorade. Yeah, I drink those. Class said, I love my 2 lawn robots. I need a third. That's what I was talking to Steve the other day. I said the one thing I don't like about my robot is that I couldn't have two. And Steve was mentioning the one he has, he could have two. Now, if I could have
I do
two
have
or
two
three,
now.
if I could have two or
I haven't got my second one on the lawn yet.
if I could have two or three and just set them up by zones, that would be awesome. You know, because one thing that I liked is I set up the lawnmower to cut the grass by my pool for my kids because they're walking, you know, a quarter acre from my house to the pool in the back. They cut it like every 2 days, 3 days, and it was just nice for them on their feet because they're barefooted, you know, to walk over there. I liked that, you know, but then I also liked the fact that instead of doing that, it constantly manicuring my front lawn. So when you drive by my house, you know, my front lawn always looks cut. Matter if people say like, dude, how often you cut your grass? And like you said, Steve, who cares? Like they don't realize that you're not actually doing it, right?
Yeah,
It's
my lawnmower runs every day, constantly.
Yeah. Chris says Dave will end up with a robot vac for the shack, and that's where he's going. Yeah. No, they're definitely improved. And I think the early stages of the robot lawnmowers, they were kind of like the early stages of those dog collar threatener things, right? If you have to put a piece of metal in the ground, a rope in the ground, a perimeter for no, don't even buy that. Don't even go down that road, right? That's no.
Yeah.
Clack said, I want a new one for the house and gonna bring that one out here. Yeah, I saw the one I have. It dropped on Amazon for like 800, like under $1,000, like 9 something. It was more than that originally. But I think some people like the fact that when they sell on Amazon because they feel a little safer because Amazon really protects the consumer. So, especially now I pay that $25 thing.
You're buying a vacuum. You're buying a vacuum on Amazon?
No, I'm talking about the lawnmower.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm ready for a second one, I think, just because this year there were so many dandelions here, and like it cuts them off, and then it doesn't get back to that piece of grass for 2 more days. And in those 2 days, you get these long spikes of dandelion that pop up and spread all their stupid fluffy things everywhere. And next year I'll have a nightmare of a lawn.
You just got to put some weed and feed down, Steve. 7 days.
We can't use weed and feed here
At all?
We can use the feed. We can't use the weed.
At all?
No.
It's illegal?
Yeah. Well, it's just banned, right? Like you can't get it.
I have to smuggle you some weed and feed, Steve.
Oh, you can get stuff. So I have some stuff that it's a spray, but it only kills dandelions. Okay. It just turns them into mush. They get all black in a day and then they disappear. But there were still just so many of them this year. It was crazy.
I have to put something down, and I put something on once a month because my neighbor's lawn looks like they breed them. Like I don't even know how it's possible they grow that many. Like it's like how are they that close to each other? Like
yeah, I mean my neighbors are like that too. And then we have people who there's I don't know if you have like no mow May.
Yeah, forget that.
It's like, oh, the bees need these dandelions. Okay, so neither the bees nor the dandelions are originally native to North America, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I don't need the dandelions.
Same with me. Well, yeah.
All the bees are doing is making more for next year.
Chris said, "Yep, the way the video went, we'll build a second channel." Yeah, definitely lawns is a lot, but I think when somebody pulls up to your house and they see that's their first impression of your house, right? So I think that means a lot.
Yeah, well, my house is kind of up on a hill on my street, and you drive down my street, and you see all these lawns with dandelions all over the place, and then there's mine, and it's green, and
right.
and a lot of it is just because I the robot mower keeps the dandelions cut down, but this year it just couldn't seem to keep up.
Yeah, so I don't know. I definitely want to eventually do a to make my own sprinkler system. I think that's
I put in-ground sprinklers in my last house.
Because you did it yourself or you paid someone?
Yeah, no, I did it myself. It wasn't that bad because you don't actually bury the pipe that deep, right? It's basically 6 inches down because you have to be able to pull it up if you ever need to run. Like as soon as I put mine down, they wanted to run fiber optic cable across my lawn, and I said, "Nah, you're not doing that."
Right.
But it was handy because it can start in the morning and it only waters what you need to get watered. It doesn't water your neighbor's yard, your driveway, the street,
Right.
So it wasn't that expensive either, all things considered.
What do you think?
The Rainbird heads were only like, I don't know, $8 a piece or something.
Yeah, Menards is pretty good. I don't know. Do you have Menards in Canada?
No.
Menards is like Canadian Tire, I think.
That's pretty sad for you.
But Menards by us, they have a lot of sprinkler type things and all the little fittings and things that probably be hard to find unless you want on Amazon. So I think if you're Frankensteining your own system, it's nice because you could like set it all on the floor and make sure everything's gonna fit together. We have everything. So
yeah, well, there's all kinds of different things too, right? You can get like sprinkler hose for your flower beds, and you can get these tiny little sprinklers for underneath specific plants, and It's just like one little squirter that squirts that one particular plant, and then, of course you can time everything so it doesn't, you don't flood anything out. But
zones.
It was like my entire yard was plumbed for in-ground everything.
Yeah, so that's my next mission. My grass is definitely, I tell you what, man, I put this lawn aerator. You guys ever used this stuff before?
No, I'm not even sure we can get that. I've never seen it.
It's basically, if you really read the ingredients, Johnson & Johnson's baby soap, basically.
Yeah.
And if you go take a screwdriver and you walk anywhere in your yard and you just stab it and it's hard, I just broke my bracelet. And you stab it and it's hard, then it's hard. But you put that in, it softens the dirt so that the water absorbs it. It's insane. The storming insane today.
I'm reading Chris's message here. He says, "My biggest lawn problem is, will it melt today?" The hazards of living in Australia.
Yeah.
Where it's 50 degrees Celsius.
Everything's dangerous in Australia, right? Crazy. Well, yeah. So I've been putting down some juice on my lawn, so to speak. And we'll see. And I just tried this yesterday.
Neighbors envy.
Yeah, so I just put this down, so we'll see. But I had to get a backpack sprayer, not a pump one, a battery operated one, because the way it sprays, it's going to make a difference. So we'll see how that results come up. But my lawn went from like yellowish to like super dark green. So now I tried the neighbor's envy. So
your neighbor's envy is just like green paint.
No, it's it's nitrogen, potassium, iron, sulfur, kelp, humic acid, sulfuric acid, urethra, potash. That's it.
I assume it's urea, not urethra.
Yeah, urea. But what's cool about that company is the guy literally says, like, look, one of those bottles, right? It just does my front. I know I obviously can't do my property, just to the front of my house. Takes the whole bottle for one application, right? So it's expensive. But he tells you, like, look, the reason this is expensive is because I formulated this and put it in this bottle. Now, if you own property and you want to make this is actually what's in it. And he shows you the Amazon links. Like, go on Amazon and buy this. But the problem is that you can't buy any of these in smaller quantities. So yes, this is $40, but to make this, you're gonna have to spend 350, right? But if you have enough property, that 350 may last you 3 years. So convenience, make it yourself. Want to mix it yourself? Whatever. That was cool that at least he shows it. Clack says 50% sand, 50% chicken litter fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Clack's secret recipe for a green lawn.
Yeah, that's why some people put down that what is it called? Magnolia. It's basically human poop. Like, oh no, wait, man,
I'll pass on that.
I am not putting human poop down on my front lawn. They're like, it looks amazing.
You could just save all this labor shuffling the sand and stuff around and just get some chickens and let them run around on your yard. That'll get rid of all the bugs too.
Yeah, and the ticks. Chris said neighbor's envy reminds me of a local fast food growing bush trees referred to as goodbye neighbors. I'm a 70s baby, so I never minded a bush. Dun-dun-dun. Yeah. 5 minutes left in the live, everybody. Let us know if you have any questions. Yeah, the neighbor's envy is supposed to be a big thing, so we'll see. We'll see if it's just the hype or it actually does what it says it does. But the problem to me is that, like, to take pictures and to change the green tint in the video or picture is really easy, right? To manipulate that. So, like, is that really what it looks like? Because I'm telling you what, if you go to Neighbors Envy's YouTube channel and you look at the results, it looks like, what? So my lawn looks 50% as good as it does in those videos. I'll be on that soapbox, saying this is amazing, but we'll see. Razor Ray said compost is also good for your lawn. Yeah.
Yeah, leaf compost. So that's typically what I do is I don't rake my leaves. I just run the mower over them and churn them into dust. And then by spring, they're all gone, right?
So I do that only so that it's easy to pick up. And then I blow them and I pull them all out. I try to get it all out because I had a problem with it all. Just make too much thatch in my lawn.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah,
leaves break down really quickly though.
Yeah, I just have a lot of trees. So
yeah, so do I. I got maple trees all over my lawn. So
yeah, me too. Have you ever tapped any of your trees?
No, not the ones in my yard anyway. I have tapped maple trees in the past.
I went to this Canadian fest, believe it or not, here in the States. And it was about making maple syrup, and they show you the whole process and what you need to buy and how to do it. It was actually pretty cool, and the kids got to try it. We walked in the forest, and they show you how to identify a maple tree.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess that's for city people.
Yeah, and hey, but yeah, but it was pretty cool. So I thought about doing it. So I got a lot of them on my property. That'd be cool. Yeah, it's kind of a messy process though.
The problem is you need like 45 gallons of tree sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup, right? So
yeah, they had this like thing that you basically like leave stuck to your tree that's like slowly draining it, right?
Yeah, it's a tap.
Yeah,
basically it just drips.
Clack said, I have oak and pine. Both contain natural herbicides on their leaves or needles. Not good for grass.
Yeah, pine especially, they're very acidic.
Yeah,
and oak trees, they just hold on to their leaves until winter, right? Like I have an oak tree on my lawn too, and it's still got leaves on it until almost Christmas time.
Yeah, my pines, I have like all on the edge perimeter of my property. It's all pines, and they're probably 115 foot tall plus, and I trimmed them up like 8 feet tall, so you can walk under them, and so I can click up all those needles, and I just walk under there. I just go under there with the tractor and just skim the ground, pick up all the needles, and throw them in the burn pile.
Yeah, pine needles burn really well.
Yeah, it smells nice too. Well, yeah. But yeah, absolutely. The ground coverage, it kills just anything. Nothing will grow with those on the ground.
Yeah. Well, pine needles are like pure acid, right?
Yeah.
There.
Although I did have a friend of mine who loved mushrooms, and it was growing some weird mushrooms, and he was coming picking them. And I was like, if you die tomorrow, do not. Like, it ain't my fault. I don't know if you can eat these mushrooms. And he swore that they were okay.
When anyone says they have a friend growing weird mushrooms, I get a little worried.
Yeah. I took a picture and look at all these mushrooms. And he says, "Oh, don't cut them." And he came and he cut them and he cut them up and cooked them. And he said it tastes like a steak.
Some people know which ones to pick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, mushrooms are not that expensive. Just go to Walmart and buy them. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't need to die because you thought something wasn't.
Yeah. Just stay away from the really nice looking yellow ones.
There you go. If it's grown on cow poop, it may not be a good idea to eat it. But
they're all grown in manure.
Looks like we hit 8:30. Time went by fast today. Sorry guys for my voice today. I'm feeling a little under the weather, but appreciate you guys joining the live. And I hope you enjoyed our last live with Skylar. She was able to give you some insight on her CNC adventure. She's definitely coming along, maybe pushing me a little bit to drop some more content.
Yeah, the pressure's
on. Friendly. I love Skylar, so no pressure at all. But yeah, definitely a little friendly nudge to say get it. So be seeing that coming soon. But Steve, you want to close this up?
I don't actually. I don't have anything to say. I'm dog sitting tonight, so I have to let my very small bladdered dogs outside.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining. See you on next week's live. Appreciate you stopping in.
Thanks all.